Welcome back to Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, and today we're going to be taking on Sand Ocean. Mission 1, Return to Hidden Base. So, this level, now that we have a hover, should not be too difficult compared to how it was the first time we ran through it. Because it makes this platforming a lot simpler, as you don't really have to worry about too many moving platforms or anything. So, I would just go through this level kind of like normally. Just try to get as many combos as you can. And that's really all there is to it. My goodness, lock on. Okay. Remember, always collect those rings, as they give you 200 points. At least the 20 ring module does. Because each ring is 10 points, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you collect hundreds of them, that adds up quickly. Okay. So, be careful when you're hovering around corners like that, as the ground, or as the pillar will often give you some pretty weird physics, and it might try to push you into the ground. So, Golden Beetle is up here. Be sure to get him if you can. You're not totally lost if you don't get it, but it does make things a little bit more difficult. Let's make sure we go the right way through this level. Instead of the way I was about to go. Okay. So we're doing pretty good. It's good to get those enemies that fly by, because they're just extra points that you could very easily miss. Okay, be careful right here. I don't know why, but I have a pretty easy time dying on this section. Just because you run into a wall, you get hit off by the spiky balls, and they hit you into the sand. Then what are you gonna do? Nothing. And frankly, I do not like having to restart these levels. Especially ones like this. Because, I don't know. They're kind of tedious when they're not that hard. So, you can start gliding very early on. I did it a little too early, but if you use that, you can get a pretty crazy combo right here. Like, I didn't get everything, I only got 9, I believe, or maybe even less. But you can get a perfect combo there if you play your cards right. Okay. We'll just wait for this little guy. And then, here we are. The end of the level. We should be good.
Now you know why I am the best.
Mission 2. Collect 100 rings. So, like every other Tails and Eggman mission, you're just gonna want to spam the shoot button as much as you possibly can, because the name of the game here is do not get hit, as obviously that will make you lose all your rings, and it is much easier to do in these levels than most others. Okay, so just be careful around here, get your 5 rings from there. I would pick up all of those and the ones down here while you're waiting for this platform to come down. Make sure you don't get hit by one of these falling platforms too, which is, funnily enough, pretty easy to do. So then, you'll see we have an enemy up there, but we also have a balloon up there. It's kind of tricky to get, but don't worry about it. Just keep on rushing through. So we'll get that, and we'll get a lot of rings right here. Just make sure to not die. Come through here, get even more rings. You can see we're already at 97, and we have 3 minutes to do this. Isn't that crazy? They gave us that much time. And if you collected everything so far, you should have enough right there. But if not, don't worry. Just keep going through the level a little bit more. Mission 3, find the lost Chow. So for this mission, we're going to be rushing towards the second checkpoint, I believe. as that is where the hidden chow will be. So, like all the other missions, this one isn't, or all the other chow missions I should say, this one's not too hard. Just, as long as you don't die, you should be fine. But it doesn't even matter if you're slow, because the only thing that matters here is your speed. Because if you die or you get hit, lose all your rings, doesn't really matter. So, you can have some fun. I would like to show off cool tech in this level, but unfortunately, I don't really know any that'll be any use to us. Okay, so we'll get here. Alright. Keep on spinning. Is this the first or second checkpoint? I could be completely wrong about this. Yep, I made a goof. That's the first checkpoint. Whoops. So I'll just kill myself, because it saves your time if you do that. And I'll just make my way further through the level until we get to the correct checkpoint. That's a funny little mistake to make. Like I said, oh yeah, this is definitely where we want to be. Because there's this platform over here that you can see with a spring. So just jump over to it. Come onto the... Oh my gosh. Okay. Come over here onto these platforms. Sorry, I kind of had to focus because I was making a lot of goofy decisions. Okay. Taking me way longer than it should have. So then once that's done, we can come up here, get the chow. I think this one you also have a ridiculous amount of time to do it.
Now you know why I am the best.
Mission 4. Reach the goal within 4 minutes and 0 seconds. Now, this mission is surprisingly difficult. I didn't really talk about it in the first mission because I think I was mistaken. But this mission is very hard to actually complete. Like, the point requirement is very, very tight. So honestly, I would just kill those guys like that, and then try to progress through the level normally. Like, don't skip too many things, because it will result in some weird things happening. Like right here, you can have those two guys that just are flying towards us where we get that 4 combo on. Like, they just won't appear if you jump over that box and some other weird stuff like that. So, now that we're up here, we can get a pretty good combo of 3. We want to make sure we don't walk onto this pillar from the bottom, which is quite easy to do, because then you'll lose a combo on one of the dynamites, which is just like 100 points that you're not getting. So make sure to actually land on all these platforms, because this is kind of just a theory of mine, but landing on the platforms is what gives the game a prompt to actually spawn in the enemies. Because I've had several times where I get to this point of the level, and I've had way less points than this, and I didn't really understand why. It's also important just to make sure that you combo wherever you can. So, just touch as many platforms as you can to hopefully get as many enemies to spawn as possible. Because I don't know what makes them do it or not. Okay, so we got a 5 combo right there. We got as many as we could from these guys, which makes it a lot easier to fly over here. Accidentally shoot that guy. It's a bit frustrating because we just lose out on an easy 100 points from a combo. But we should still be fine. Because there's no flying guys that appear here. But when we get over to this platform, there will be 3 flying guys that will appear right here. Just like that. And then if you start hovering at the top right here, you can lock onto that guy, which can be used to get a perfect here, but I think it's far too difficult, so I think it's better to just set up and lock on to as many of these as you can, because you can still get the perfect, but it's harder. Like, I just got an extreme, but an extreme is pretty dang good. Also, make sure you destroy all of that stuff, because I almost missed it, and that would have cost quite a few points. Alright, so we'll get up here, combo those 2, and then kill these guys. Try to get combos there if you can, but if not, hopefully it's fine. let's go.
Now you know why I am the best.
Mission 5, clear hard mode. Alright, not gonna lie to you, this is my first attempt, so if I clear it, that is why I'm not giving too much advice on where the enemies are. Usually I like to try to clear them first, but this time, I'm just gonna go right into it, because honestly, that last mission took me a lot of tries, and I just don't feel like preparing as much for this mission as I usually would. But still, we're gonna progress through the level like normal, just to make sure we get all of our enemy spawns that we're supposed to have. Come on, guys. There they go. They spawned in for us real nicely. Okay, so just get... Oh, I didn't get both of them, but that's alright. Because then we'll jump up here. I guess there's no enemy to lock onto this time, so ignore what I'm saying. Let's go. I usually try to shoot that balloon, but as you can tell from every other mission, I usually fail to actually hit it. But this time I didn't. Get those two guys. Wouldn't worry about it too much. We'll get these 3 pillars, and then let's see if the beetle's in the same spot. I kind of doubt it will be, but you never know. Hey, it is. Nice. That's helpful. Okay. Combo these guys. It's helpful to get the 3rd enemy in there, but I wouldn't risk it if you don't feel comfortable with it. But for the most part, the Eggman and Tails levels, it's just the same level as like the other missions, except with more enemies that try to kill you a little more, so it's a little harder. Like right there, I got hit by those enemies and I did not get their points, and I am very upset about it. The points are very, very important. Let me up. We can just dodge and weave around those guys. Okay. So let's just hover down here. Hover over here. So you can see they make the platforming a little trickier for this mission. But you can still make pretty long jumps if you're prepared. Okay. That enemy is still here. We'll hover up here, and then we'll get as many lock-ons as we can. Alright, let's see what we got. Extreme, very nice. 3 enemies right there. Now, it's kind of funny. You wouldn't expect it, but there being more enemies on hard mode actually makes this A rank, I think, a lot easier than the first and 4th mission, which is kind of ironic because it's hard mode. But as you can see, we're getting to the end of the level with just so many more points. Like, look at that. We're going to be at almost 1,000. Or 20,000.
Now you know why I am the best.
Thank you all for watching my guide on how to get all the A ranks in Sand Ocean. This one is honestly very, very hard. I don't know why the point requirement is so tight on mission 1 and 4. I probably just don't know something about the level, because this is honestly one of my weaker spots in game knowledge, but with what I do know, we still got it done, but it actually requires quite a lot of methodology and precision. So good luck with this one. And see you guys next time. Like, comment, subscribe.